Okay, we are on. So this is Val Hansel. You are, well, I will let you introduce yourself.
So I teach kindergarten red group, and this is my ninth year here at
Wow.
Rose.
Okay, terrific. Okay, so we will just get right into the questions, Val. Thank you so much for doing this for the board. We would love to find out about teaching your subject, which is kindergarten.
Mhm.
Why do you love teaching kindergarten so much?
I have come to love teaching about the social emotional aspect of child development. So I love that aspect of teaching. I love language arts and I love math, teaching the math as well. And I just think that when the girls come into kindergarten, they start at such a um, just neat point because they're coming from such varied experiences, and whether it's different preschool environments and different parents and home lives, and they come here and it's just such a bonding year because they're so new and uncertain in the beginning, and it's just a really special time coming together and just learning the community from the ground up.
And can you tell us a little bit more about the social emotional piece?
Yeah.
What's so great about that to
So
you?
I say that's become my truest passion, and I'm working to develop a curriculum that's based around the social emotional learning and multicultural learning. And I'm kind of seeing the two as very tied together at this age. So rather than teaching about outright topics, what I realize at this age, friendship and self and family and different configurations of family, different physical differences, I'd say, is another topic. And I've outlined the year to look at what are things that I think the kids need to learn and what is an age appropriate way to teach that. And so right now in October, we're learning about friendship, and it's just feelings and how do we respond to friends, and just kind of giving kids that context when they're out in the playground or when they're at lunch, and you just kind of assume that they come in knowing that, but they need to relearn that, and they need to really kind of be taught sometimes what those boundaries are again and again and again and again. And sometimes it feels, I've said in the past, like group therapy in here, but they'll come in with a scenario that's happened out at recess, and it's just really neat to be able to problem solve together and just be pretty explicit. I said not outright, but I think we are pretty explicit in teaching these life skills in here. And language arts is another area that's just hugely just amazing to see in kindergarten, because their ages are anywhere from 5 to 6, and their skill levels are anywhere from just learning the alphabet and letter recognition to, I have a student that I just tested in with Emily Kahn, and she's reading at a reading level between J and N, which is probably more like a third and fourth grade level, and comprehending at that level and able to respond to the reading and writing at that level. And so we have 15 girls in here, and it's really neat now to feel comfortable enough to have that one kid that I'm teaching. This is the B sound, bat and ball, B, and this child who is responding to text and learning dialogue, and we can do that here. We can really break out and figure out how to benefit the entire group.
And how do you get the girls comfortable with talking about those issues possibly in your group meetings or sessions?
Yeah, and I think I used to say, oh, don't worry what student A is doing. You're working on this right now, and don't worry about her. But I think it's important to lean into those things and really talk about personal best and what's just right for you. And we are all at different points, and we are all unique and different, and that's okay. And while I don't want to highlight any sort of areas where someone's going to feel like they need support at this point, and you really do want it to remain really safe and really comfortable for them, I think it is also okay to say we're different, and this is what this student needs. And when we do topics, especially physical differences, and we're learning about blindness and deafness and different motor difficulties like cerebral palsy, these are times when we can say, what do you need? This is what these students need. What do you need? And everyone has a need that they can highlight. So
Great.
yeah.
Okay, can you tell me about the last time you were really excited to go to work the next day? Why was that? And why was that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there were a couple years where I was tired, and maybe that was just my own personal. I was just tired, but not necessarily whole years. But there are times where the trade can become a little bit more monotonous, and I feel like at this point I'm coming back to work for a reason, and I'm really excited every day. I really am bouncing around with ideas, and I think when I work with an associate teacher, sometimes they're like, okay, today we decided for next week we're going to make a friendship, and what we're going to do is create like a wooden boat and a sail that we're going to put on the window, and everyone's going to talk about what it means to be a friend and how do you get on the friendship. And I have these ideas and these visions, and then sometimes they just come at me really quickly. So I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to further develop this social emotional curriculum. And now there's a woman, Alia, who's come in once a week, and she's maybe the multicultural director.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And we're going to meet tomorrow as a committee, and I just think really get a scope and sequence down for the whole school, because I think that's been a little bit of a void.
And so you're able to take kind of your ideas and thoughts and put them into practice, and that's kind of what gets you up and gets you excited about things in the morning. Yeah.
And I do think we have so many resources here, whether they're people or, I don't feel like there's any dearth of financing for an idea that a teacher has.
Right.
I haven't ever had something and a couple times someone said, maybe not, Val, calm down. You're not going on that field trip, or you don't really need the Cuisinart bowl for your cooking project. But really, honestly, I feel like this is an environment where ideas can flourish.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you. How do you think teaching your subject is different from other departments?
It's just so different. I've been thinking about it from a parent's perspective and looking at a public school versus a private school lately, and it's so different here at Berks because I can really hone in on social emotional learning, literacy, and math, and it's just so different than any of our specials, music or art or PE. I just don't feel, because I haven't done that in years, except when I was student teaching, I haven't really had to teach those specials, and I feel like it's obviously very different than those, but I also think there are a lot of crossovers, and I do find that we do try to integrate as much as we can. So I think kindergarten in itself, just also the development and the age is...
It's a unique beast in some ways, yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I wonder if parents think this too, but I always think of second grade as being kind of a time when some of the stark differences in development, in academic skills, kind of come to a more of a plateau. And here it's really drastic.
That's interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to pause it now because